Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to part 10 of the Redeye 300 build. Today is Sunday. It's actually a pretty good day today. A little bit chilly, it's in its 40s, but as long as we can work without the weather getting in the way, that should be good. So if you follow me on Instagram, you heard about the whole story and the situation with my brother's car over the weekend. It got stolen on Friday, so we were like all over the place trying to find it. Thank God we did get it back, and I'm gonna tell you guys exact details of what happened throughout the video. I'll do like a voiceover and we'll explain the situation and what happened. But in the meantime, we gotta get some work done on the 300. I gotta install the reinforcement bar. We gotta drill some holes, get this bracket to line up, and get these shrouds installed so not rubbing on the floor. Right now I just have it zip tied so it's not hanging down. We have to wire the tail lights. We have to get working on the interior. We got to get some buttoning up on the interior so I can install the seats. For the most part, that's what we need to get done. And if you realize the suspension sits a little bit higher, I noticed that because of your comments in the last video, and I double checked, and you guys are right. So it does sit a little bit higher than the other one. Looked at the springs, they look pretty factory. I couldn't really see a difference. But I did order some lowering springs. We're gonna get those installed next week on next week's video, and it should sit a little bit lower and a lot cleaner than how it looks right now. But let's give it a start. We'll pull it outside, park it right over here, and it's not raining or snowing, so we should be fine to work out and get some work done on this, and hopefully take it for a drive. It needs some gas, really needs some gas, and see how it drives for the first time. So let's pull it out. I'll set up. All right, so the problem is there's no seat, so it's kind of hard looking out when I'm trying to pull it out, but I'm just gonna put a milk crate right over here. That way I can see over the dash. So that's it. Pulled out. I'm gonna start with the taillights. I'm gonna get these taillights wired up and installed, get them tested, make sure they work, and then we'll move on to the reinforcement bar in the front and get that installed. That should be pretty easy, so I'm not too worried about that. And then we'll move on to the interior. I just hope it doesn't snow or rain, and I get all that installed. So can't wait to see how the interior is gonna look, especially with the suede all over. I don't know if you guys can focus on that, but yeah, let's get to work. And I also have to extend this brake line or brake wire to the third brake light, which is right over here. Make that work and we should be good. So let's get started, and hopefully we can take it on a test drive today. Okay, so I'm gonna get started on this driver's side. I already got my pigtail all stripped apart, and the wires are loose, of course. So what I'm gonna do now is actually make this one a little bit longer. So see how short this is? Just so you have more room to work with it, I'm gonna make it about up to here. So if you're pulling the taillight off, it's not really snugged up. I'm gonna pull the electrical tape off, start cutting these one by one, and then wire it up and test. So you guys are gonna watch me do that. Alright guys, so tail lights are wired up. I just tested them, make sure they all work. Next up, I'm gonna install the bumper, but before I do that, I have to remove the lower valence so it's not gonna be in the way of the exhaust tips. So I'm gonna put the rear bumper on this piece of cardboard so it's not gonna get scratched up, and then I'll take off the rear valence and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so here's the rear bumper, and you'll have to remove these because the exhaust tips are way too big to clear this. And the way you'll do that is you'll drill out these rivets over here. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. You'll just drill those out, and you can actually save these. These are worth some money. And you'll do that on both sides, and then we'll install the rear bumper and then get the taillights on, because the taillights sit after the bumper. So if I install the taillights now, I gotta take them back off to install the bumper. We'll get that done, and then hopefully this will work. I'm trying to avoid taking this whole thing off because I don't want to break any clips right now. So I'm gonna take this off and then check it, and if not, then we have to remove the whole thing. But I think we should be okay if we remove just this one part. So let's do that now. Alright, so there you have it. It barely cleared. I had to push this up a little bit. I'm not worried about this kind of melting down because I'm gonna replace these exhaust tips anyway. But all that is good to go. Taillights are on, they're working, and we should be good. If we take it on a drive, we got some lights at work. So now we're gonna move on to the front and work on that rebar I was telling you guys about. I have to drill the holes for it, install it, and then mount these shrouds. So we're gonna do that now, and hopefully that should be easy because I've done it on the Gen 2, if you guys watch those videos. Alright guys, so I got the rebar and I am ready to install it. So what I was gonna do is measure the distance on this bracket, then drill holes into the rebar. This is the original one off the regular V6 300. But what I realized that there's already 2 pre-drilled holes in here. So before I do any measuring or try to do some other cuts, or before I try to drill other holes, I'm gonna see if that will line up, and just bolt down to here with these 2 bolts, 13 millimeters. So I'm gonna install the rebar, put some screws in it, and see if this will line up, and then I don't have to drill any new holes. And then probably the only thing I'll have to drill are holes for this thing so it holds up. But let's try it out and see how it works. Alright, so that worked out pretty good actually. These line up perfectly with the factory holes that were already in here. Let's get a focus on there. But I'll get those installed, and that should be a 13 mil. Tighten it up, and then we should be good on this. Got my ratchet, makes it a little bit easier. Take it off this one over here. That's one. That's two. This thing is not going to go anywhere. It's all secured, and we should be good to go. So, looking down here too, looks like it also has a factory spot where, see that hole? I didn't drill that out. That was just on the regular rebar. So I'm gonna chop that zip tie off and then install that shroud. Look at that. Just like factory. Probably find another one to go over here, but that's it. No, that's holding up pretty good. I'm gonna see if the other side is the same way. It's getting pretty cold out here. Yeah, so I can put a screw right here. So that one already has a rivet nut in there. That's pretty cool. So I'll get that installed, and then I can move on to the interior. Alright guys, so rebar is installed complete. Everything fit just like OEM. I didn't have to custom make any holes, drill anything out, just like how I did on the Gen 2. Which is weird. I thought it was the same rebar, but I guess not. Like literally, even this shroud has a spot where I drilled it in, or where I bolted it on, and everything fit just like new. So that's all set. I don't have to worry about anything on the front end now. Now I'm going to move on to the trunk area, and I'm gonna start buttoning this up, make sure all the wires are routed. I'm not gonna have any issue with those. And we'll set this thing up, make it look good again, and we'll move on to the inside, which we'll have to work on the shelf, get these seat belts in place where they're supposed to, and hopefully right after that I can get these two cars out the way and we can get this thing out, go put it some gas and see how it drives. Okay, so I got all my trunk trim pieces right over here. I already installed the left side. I'm going to show you how to do the right side. So this spot over here will come out of the shock spot right over here, and then you have a clip will go in this hole on the body, and then another one right in here. So get that installed, and then we can move on to the other bigger ones. Alright, so here's the seat. My brother just came, so he's gonna help me install it. We're gonna try to get it in from the back door right here, so it's not gonna be scratching up anything. So lay it flat, connect the connectors, and then bolt it down. I only have the front 2 seats. The other ones haven't come in yet, so we're waiting on those. But for the trunk area, the left side is all installed. I got the handle all plugged in for the trunk, and all that is great. So we're gonna get the seat installed. That way I can drive it, go to the gas station, put some gas in it now, and we'll get that done now. All right, so now I'm gonna pull it out and then take it to the gas station, put some gas. I got the seat installed, got sun visors installed. Everything is good to go. And now we are ready to head out for the first time. Goes nothing. It's really low on fuel, so I hope it makes us, but I think we'll be all right. So we made it to the gas station, pump it a full tank, and head back to the house. The supercharger line is unreal. Shut it off. $40, full tank. And that was premium too, so gas is pretty cheap right now. We're gonna head back to the house and talk about what we're gonna do next. Well, there you have it, guys. First test drive was amazing. Can't even explain the difference in power between this one and my old one. It's crazy. But that's gonna be it for today. I got a lot of work done. It's getting really, really cold. But for next up, hopefully we'll get the seats in by then and, you know, finish buttoning up this whole interior. I'm still waiting on one more side of this quarter pieces. I'm waiting on the driver's side. Or the passenger side, I should say, and I'm waiting for the foam piece that sits inside of the spare, because SRTs don't have spare tires, they got the pump. And then of course the carpet that covers all that up. All that stuff is on order, just waiting for it to come in. Hood is on order as well, like I told you guys the last video, but everything else is good and it's ready to be to head down to the body shop. Next video, there's going to be some special news about the car and what kind of work is going to get done to it performance wise, so stay tuned for that. But until then, we're going to be holding off until next time video. See you back on part 11. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that video and so far what's happening with the Redeye, of course. I was supposed to do like a voiceover, and while I was like, you know, wiring or doing any kind of work while music was playing, I wanted to kind of talk over and kind of explain to you guys what happened with the black 300, my brother's car, and how it got stolen and how that situation got handled. But on Friday, this is 2 days ago,
I was at work and my brother calls me like all panicking, and he couldn't even hold his breath. He's like, hey, I woke up in the morning to start my car and it's not here. I'm like, maybe you just parked in the wrong spot. I mean, the last thing we could think about is that it got stolen. He lives in a pretty good neighborhood. It is a gated area. There's cameras all over the place. And it's not like in the middle of Detroit somewhere where you'll expect this to happen. So we didn't even think about that, someone came into the place and stole it. So I'm like, just go to the office where, they take care of those kind of things and have them roll back the cameras and just see what happened. And, probably a tow truck just took it. So he calls me about 10 minutes later and he's like, nope, there was a car about around 3:30 that night that pulled right next to the car. A guy got out of it with a device in his hand. He broke the right rear window. He got through the window, and within minutes, the lights came on for the car. It started up, and he was gone. Not even a 5-minute thing. So it's crazy because we used to watch it, all over the news, on social media that, this is happening to a lot of people's cars, especially Mopars, Challengers, Chargers, Jeeps, you name it. So we couldn't believe it. We're like, how would someone actually get through and come into the place and just drive away like that? So we were kind of, shocked. We didn't really know where to start or how to approach the whole situation. And I was going to do a separate video on this, but part of building a car, even if you have full coverage insurance, the insurance will only cover what the actual car is. So that car was just a regular 300. It was a John Barbados, but at the end of the day, it wasn't something special. Like, it wasn't like a SRT by VIN. So they only cover what it's actually worth, not what you put into it, if that makes sense. So we were like really out there trying to find the car. And thanks to you guys, and especially everyone who follows me on my social media, the word went around instantly. I'm talking about thousands and thousands of shares and reposts. So the word was out there and the pictures of the car were everywhere. So whoever had it couldn't really go anywhere with it because everyone knew about the car. So the next day, about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, my brother calls me. He said he got a call saying that someone found the car and they sent us a location. We went to the location, but it was in a really, really bad area. So we didn't know if this was like some kind of setup where they're trying to come get us. You know what I mean? We're trying to be like kind of careful we don't live in these type of neighborhoods. So we called up a couple guys just in case anything was to go down. We have people with us, and we went out there. We found the car. It was in like an abandoned house, all bricked up, and we found it in the backyard. Like I said, the back window was broken out of it. They took the license plate off of it, of course, so no one recognizes the plate. There was some damage to it. The door was damaged. The splitter was broken. But nothing to really complain about as long as we got the car back. So I called my buddy Abe. He has like impound company and like a recovery service. He came by instantly. He put it on his bed. He took it back to his place. And I had the key guy come make it a key. But for whatever reason, the original key wouldn't work on the car. When the key guy came, he said, yeah, so when they steal the cars, they make their own key and then they get rid of your old key with whatever device they use. So it's crazy. Like I said, it's the fact that you have to worry about your car getting stolen, and you have to install like kill switches and trackers and all that stuff just to keep your car safe is just honestly ridiculous, especially with these Chryslers and Chargers, and Dodges, I should say. But, it is what it is. We did get it back. No one got hurt. Everything was safe. But that's what happened about that. I was kind of trying to make it a short video, but I don't know how it ended up being a 5-minute video. But that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll make sure to start on part 11 within these next couple days. I hope to post it before the weekend. That way you guys will have 2 videos in that same week. But I appreciate you guys for watching. As always, your support is unreal. And I'll see you guys back on part 11.